Thank you very much, Chief Justice. The first ruling is by the first application is by Professors Rosalind Dixon, Professor David E. Lando, and Professor Gautam Bhatia. All the applicants seek to be admitted as amici curiae in petition number E016 of 2021. We have perused the affidavit in support, the submissions by the applicants, their reliance on the case of Trusted Society of Human Rights versus Momo Matemu, and Raila Odinga and others versus IEBC. We have considered the grounds of opposition by the 20th and 23rd respondents. We have looked at the law in Rule 19 of the Supreme Court rules, the case of Trusted Society of Human Rights, Alliance versus Momo Matemu, and Francis Kariuki Muratetu and another. We are not convinced by the arguments against the admission by the 20th and 23rd respondents. We see no evidence of bias, of lack of neutrality, and therefore, having considered the application against the rules and the law, we make the following orders. The motion dated 1st October 2021 and lodged on 4th October 2021 by the intended amici curiae is allowed. And this is important. The amici briefs attached to the application are deemed as filed, and the applicants shall not make oral submissions at the hearing of the petitions. Parties shall bear their own costs. The second ruling is on the application of Professor Migai Akech to be admitted as amicus curiae. We have looked at Rule 3, 19, 31 and 50 of the rules, the practice directions of the court. We have considered the grounds in support of the application, the reliance on the case of Trusted Society of Human Rights, Alliance versus Momo Matemu. There is no opposition to the application. Having considered it, we are also of the view that Professor Migai Akech, in his brief, will be of valuable assistance to the court, and we have seen that he has demonstrated expertise in his field relevant to the proceedings before the court. In the circumstances, the application dated 20th October 2021 and lodged on 22nd October 2021 by the intended amicus curiae is allowed. The amicus brief attached to the application is deemed as filed, and the applicant shall not make oral submissions at the hearing of the petitions. Parties shall bear their own costs. The third application is by Professor Richard Albert and Professor Yaniv Rosnai. They have relied on the rules 3, 19, 1, 31, and 50 of the rules. We have considered the grounds on the face of the application. We have read the amici briefs by both Professor Richard Albert and Yaniv Rosnai. Their reliance on Francis Kariuki Muratetu and Trusted Society of Human Rights Alliance. We have looked at Rules 19 of the court rules and the two decisions I've just quoted above. We have seen that the applicants intend to address the court on the issue of constitutional amendments, relevant, including questions touching on the basic structure, its scope, relevance, and applicability. In the circumstances, we have the view that the applicant's very detailed amici briefs shall be useful to the court, and therefore we shall allow the application to be admitted as amici curiae. The amici briefs are deemed as filed, and the applicants shall not make oral submissions at the hearing of the petitions. Parties shall bear their own costs. The fourth and last application for admission as amici are by the by Professor Charles Fombad and Professor Adem K. Abebe. They have relied on Articles 1, 2, 3, 10, 48, 159, 160, 164, and 259 of the Constitution, and Rules 19, 1 and 2 of the Supreme Court rules, as well as the affidavit sworn by Sally Omoto, advocate. We have looked at the amici briefs. They have detailed a number of questions for Professor Fombad. He has asked 3 questions that he wishes to address, and Professor Debe has similarly raised 3 questions which he wishes to address. Having looked at the law, Rules 19 of our rules, the cases of Raila Odinga and others versus IEBC, Trusted Society of Human Rights versus Muma Matemu, we are of the view that the admission of the amici curiae will be useful in achieving our mandate to develop the law with the assistance of input from parties appearing before us. And we find that the amici have filed a detailed brief which shall be of use to the court, and therefore we shall admit their application, we shall allow the application, admit them as amici curiae. The briefs attached to the application are deemed as filed, and the applicants shall not make oral submissions at the hearing of the petitions. Each party shall bear their own cost. Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Counsel.